What do you make of the Bruins right now?
Look, I don't want to say I'm odd. I think a lot of people are saying, 6-0, right? They're winning every game exactly like I thought they would. I mean, I thought they were going to win and beat bad teams 3-1, 3-2, 3-0, 4-2, which is what every game has been.
Did you hit that bet last night?
No, I had 2-zip.
I thought you were. Okay.
I had 2-zip, and that bum Frederick scored. I bet on the final score last night.
Oh, you even went. Oh, wow.
I had 2-0. It was 3-0.
Mike, these correct scores, with the way that they're playing, they're actually hittable. I've hit one. Mazz has hit one. Like, they're around 3 goals every night.
It's 2-1, 3-1.
Yeah. No, every night. And last night I said, you know what? They're due for a shutout the way they're playing. And then Bedard scored and it got called back. And I heard, God bless replay. So, but this is what they are. I mean, again, not that I was any sort of soothsayer, because I think we all recognize it in the regular season. They're going to be good in their own end. The goalies are good. They're going to win a lot of games, low-scoring games. And they're doing that right now. The story on the Bruins, to me, is not the record, which is good. It's Patras. I think it's Patras.
Patra.
Whatever. The kid is, last night he outskated those guys, pulled away and scored. I mean, that was some speed and some skill and some finish. And I'm not telling you he's the next Sidney Crosby, but it's nice to have a young forward with some burst and some explosiveness.
Well, Connor Bedard, sorry to cut you off. Connor Bedard's the talk of the league, right? And at least for one night, Patra greater than Connor Bedard. He's the real deal. They can't send him down.
I don't think they can send him down. The thing that's most impressive to me is he goes to the front of the net, which I wasn't sure of. You know, you saw some clips in the preseason where he scored in front of the net, went into the front of the net. And I said, as soon as that, 5'11", 175-foot beanpole gets into regular season hockey, never mind playoff hockey, someone's going to take his head off, and he ain't going to go in there. And he's going in there. And never mind along the boards. Like, he sticks his nose in there. He's a tough little kid. And I think that's still what he is. He's undersized, and he's 19.
He's got to get a lot stronger, but he's not afraid.
But he's not afraid, and I think you can really tell that, and that's so important. He's not just floating around out there. And so, I mean, he's obviously a huge story. He changes the balance of their entire lineup and changes he changes the outlook of the team almost. And I'm not saying that he's like a franchise player or anything, but it was just a storyline for a decade or a half decade, you call it. They have nothing at center when Bergeron retires. When Bergeron retires, they have nothing. When then Bergeron goes, they're going to suck. When Bergeron and Krejci go, they're going to fall off a cliff. They have nothing. They have nothing in the system. They have nothing to replace. They don't have anything. They're not going to have anything. You heard that over and over and over and over again. And here he is. Like, here's a guy. And I don't know if he's a pure number one center. I'm not going to put that on him yet. But if he's just a legit number two center, boy, that
pretty good.
That solves a lot. It really, and sort of kind of out of nowhere.
What timing?
So really, that's a good story for the Bruins. And the goalie platoon thing, it's just setting up for more trouble down the road. What is this really good for?
First round exit.
Yeah, I mean, oh, neat. Someone stick a finger in their cheek, please. Thank you.
Good job, Murray.
Neat. Oh God, did they hug last night? They hugged. They love each other. It's great. Then you're going to get into the postseason and you only play one guy. That's what you do. You only play one guy. And then what's going to happen? You're going to pick the wrong guy. He's going to crap himself. You're not going to know when to make the switch. Or you make the switch, and then the other guy's going to crap himself. It's not going to work. Platoons don't work in the playoffs. They're unnecessary in the playoffs. They're useless.
They'll lose to a lower seed, just like last year.
So you're going to get all horned up. You're going to get all, whip it out and pleasure yourself. The hug, and they love each other. I love it. And it's not going to work. It's pointless. At the end of the day, this thing that they have is not going to help you in the playoffs. It's not. Do either of them have a pair of balls? You know what I would rather? You know what I'd rather have, what I think is healthier? Is that they freaking hated each other and wanted to bury the other kid. That would be healthier, because that would show me someone who was like cutthroat and competitive. And you know who I heard was just, on top of being a little nuts, but just a turbo a-hole, was Thomas.
Tim Thomas.
To his fellow goalies. I've heard from his former teammates that guy Not a team guy, not a guy that, I ever, not good things about him, and I'm talking about way back when. I'm talking whatever, decade and a half ago. Well, he got a hair across his ass. He grew to hate the organization. He got all pissed off at the organization. Remember his cup year? They had tried to trade him the year before. Remember he changed the color of his pads. He wouldn't even wear black and yellow pads. He changed his pads. Remember all this stuff? Like Tim Thomas nuts. And you're almost better off with that guy than this. I can't even. Can I?
Okay, but what about
this reaching fest between these two guys?
Oh, you mean the love in between?
Oh my God! I'd much rather have them hate each other and try and bury each other.
Okay, don't you think though the reports have been that Swayman's a little pissed off about the arbitration thing?
Okay, fine.
Like
good.
So
I forgot about that or didn't know about that. I'll take that. But then I want you to bury this skid mark guy, who it feels more Tuca-y by the day. Yeah, don't hug him. Try and take his job and be the guy. And I think they'd be far better off with that.
I'm going to make a prediction that by the end of the year, this guy's the number one. Swayman's the number one.
Okay.
He's improving. The other guy's going to slide.
But they've both been awesome.
But it's ridiculous.
This kid's improving, though.
They've allowed 7 goals in 6 games, okay, which is obviously the best in the league. The next lowest team has allowed 18. So they're already double or half, however you want to look at that, the goals against in the league with the 2 guys. Whee! And did they hug?
As I said this morning, they're already running roughshod through the league like they did last year, when we all know how this is going to end. But for now, they're fun.
But also their schedule has been so soft.
Oh, yeah.
They've played absolutely the worst teams in the league.
Yeah.
Puppy poo.
They have played the worst teams in hockey, and in the case of last night, twice. So this is as easy as it gets schedule-wise.